Battlefield Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the first episode of a new series here on the Battlefield Podcast. This is what we're calling Battlefield 4 The Road So Far, or really we should say Battlefield The Road So Far, because this series is for folks who are new to Battlefield 4 and want to find out more about its history and, in fact, the history of the entire Battlefield franchise. Each episode we're going to cover one of the previous Battlefield games, mention something that you need to know about it, just so that you don't stand out as somebody who has no idea where Battlefield came from. In this very first episode, Tim and I are going to cover Battlefield 1942, the inaugural, really the first game in the Battlefield series. It came out on the PC in 2002. That makes me feel really old because that's 11 years ago. The other thing you should know about it as well, that given the fact that its 10-year anniversary was last year, you can actually still get this game for free on Origin. They released it last year as a 10-year anniversary edition, and it still works and people play it. Tim, tell us a couple things that everybody needs to know about Battlefield 1942.
Well, Battlefield 1942, DICE introduced some revolutionary things to the FPS genre. The first was sandbox warfare. It was the first time we ever really saw large maps with large amounts of players all on one field going all out with vehicle warfare. The second one was conquest mode. It was the first time we actually saw this conquest idea of having multiple capture points and having to hold them and having tickets and this new system that has kind of been adopted by a lot of other games. But DICE was one of the first ones to kind of implement it into this type of game and actually make it work.
I think the one thing that I remember most fondly about 1942, the first time I played it, was the ease with which you could transition from foot soldier to being in a vehicle to flying a plane. There was nothing like that before, where you could just hop in and out and move on.
And that's one of the big keys to Battlefield, is being able to do all these things and make it feel very seamless.
And be sure to tune again next episode when we cover Battlefield Vietnam, the one that I always like to forget, but it's actually between 1942 and Battlefield 2. So we'll see you again then.